don't want you in my life in any capacity. Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the backtrack of the century, the Ultimatum, Season 2, Pilar.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here comes the drama, baby.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is episodes 8, 9, and the reunion.
Yeah, and the couples are back with their original partner.
Mm-hmm.
And some time is starting to pass.
Yeah, for one episode. You know, it's kind of...
That's all I needed.
Yeah, that's right.
Crazy.
Haley says she's fully into Pilar at this point.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
But I think that's because, you know, she at this point feels the freaking homegirl kind of gaslit her a little bit, right? So she's kind of through with that, I think.
Yeah.
So.
We're not really here in the beginning, I guess, right? So she's starting to go back, and she seems like she's kind of in love with both of them almost. It's weird.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
she's
that's true.
torn. I mean, she was with Pilar for 10 years.
Yeah.
And she gave her the ultimatum. She wanted to get married with Pilar. So, like, this whole thing was to get married with Pilar.
Yeah.
And then she had this side thing, and she kind of fell in love with Magan, and she's like, you know, so it's hard to let go of the Pilar thing. So, yeah, she's torn.
Yeah, and this is where Pilar kind of reveals also that she has issues with her family, and she doesn't really have anyone there for her.
Yeah.
Yep. And
So
you could tell that when she met Kyle's family, how they kind of lit her up and stuff, and she's like, "Wow, this is what it's like to have a supporting family." You know,
Yeah.
so
And they're kind of talking through things. Like, Pilar's like, hey, if you're in love with her, then you should pursue it.
Yeah.
yeah,
They have a very mature relationship.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they know, when she was hurt, like, when she first found out about, like, how far they went and, like, how far their love and connection was, you know, she was crying and she was upset about it. And then Haley tried to, like, comfort her. She's like, don't touch me. But it wasn't dramatic. It wasn't salty. It was just like,
I need my space for a minute.
I need to process this. And then when she processed it, they could talk about it. It wasn't like a bitter angriness.
Well, and then you find out too, like, not only had they been together as a couple for 10 years. Prior to that, they were like best friends. So they were probably in high school together and all that, and had each other's back. So they completely understand each other, like, at pretty much every level possible, right? I mean, so. I get it. So it's good to see that at least one of these couples can have that kind of mature, relationship and conversations.
Yeah, and apparently they were at a club or something, and then they saw Dayna and Magan, and Magan ghosts her.
Yeah, I can't believe, Magan.
Dude.
Megan, like, backtracking the century, right? Yeah, she went down many pegs in these last couple of episodes for us. Like,
and it's like, how freaking hypocritical of Megan is that? And she called it out, right? Haley's like, how damn hypocritical is that, right? And I was just like, holy cow, man.
I am starting to like, Megan was like the big one of the earlier episodes. Now I'm starting to like Pilar a little more, though.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. No doubt, man. Like at this point.
Pilar and Haley.
Like, everything that goes down in all this, even all the way up through the freaking reunion, I'm like, Magan and freaking Dayna deserve each other at this point. I'm like, because I couldn't believe watching this shit going down, man. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and I was feeling really bad for Haley, because I was like, man, she's, she can't even find the closure to that, like, whirlwind of a relationship that she had, and figure out why she had it and what that meant and how to move forward with Pilar because of how she's being treated.
Right.
Like, and was it real? Did I imagine it? Like,
and then during the gaslighting and afterward, when she's talking to her about it, she was like, well, I never said I was in love with you. It's like, sure you did. Just like, you even told your girlfriend, you even told freaking Dayna, I'm in love with freaking Haley,
She should have just said, you're like the McRib. You're here for a limited time. I enjoy it, and now it's over. So,
and next year, maybe there'll be a different one.
And honestly, I think she was, and Haley called her out on it. I think she was just saying it to push it away. I think she truly still felt it. Yeah. And she was just like willing it to no longer exist.
She is so wrapped by Dayna, and at this point, it's completely obvious. And I was just like, dude, you've lost every brownie point that you had in my book. You're just, you're a coward. She is a coward. That's really what it boils down to.
She talks about bravery. Everybody was brave.
She talks about bravery, but she's not. Megan is a complete total coward.
Yeah. So Haley's dad comes over for dinner, and that's kind of a touching moment too, because he's like, "Hey, I'm not just here for you. I'm also here for you, Pilar."
Yep.
And that was really
Yeah,
cool.
that
I
was-
just want to make it clear that I'm not just here for Haley. I'm here for you too. Because I love both you guys like you wouldn't even believe. It's crazy how much I love you guys.
That was awesome.
I love
Yeah.
how everybody's there for Pilar.
Well-
And you're right. I love Pilar.
Well, and again, I mean, this is his daughter's like best friend probably since high school or something. He's
Yeah.
known her forever too, right? So yeah, it makes sense. So she's already like a second daughter to him, So
Yeah.
Now, I will
that's cool.
say, I thought it was kind of disrespectful because Haley talks way too much about Magan in Pilar's presence. Like, she's talking about the dad, how they had this great thing going. I'm like, Pilar's right here. You know what I mean? I was getting a little irritated with that.
yeah,
though.
I think she's trying to be open and honest about it
Yeah.
all. Really.
Well, she is,
So,
but you also got to be respectful to your partner.
yeah.
And I mean, you can tell whenever Magan is kind of brought up sometimes to Haley, she lights up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like she perks up. So she definitely fell pretty hard for her.
Oh,
and
no
I
doubt
do
about
wonder
it.
if
No doubt about
Magan
it.
would have acted different during this back half if things would have changed between her and Pilar. Obviously, that's going to draw them close because, like, it got shut down. But if it didn't, I don't know what would happen.
Right,
and
yeah,
quite
no doubt.
honestly, I don't like the way Megan's acting, but this is probably the best thing for Haley.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
sure.
no, it is. After everything that goes down the way it does, this is definitely
Yeah.
the best thing for Haley.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as much of a coward as Magan is, as much as she's wrapped by freaking Dayna and everything, I'm just, is at that point you're happy for Haley. You're like, good. Just
Yeah.
shut it
But-
down and
She
be done with
dodged
it.
a
But
bullet.
even
Yeah,
if
exactly.
Magan was good, she would have then been torn between the two. This way, it's
Yeah.
obvious who you should go with.
Yeah, no
Right.
doubt.
So I think that actually plays in her favor,
Yeah.
whether she
And I
realizes
don't-
it
Yeah,
or
I agree
not.
with that. Yeah.
And I don't think even, to skip ahead to the reunion in everything, I don't think Pilar's given enough credit to get past how far Haley and
Oh, yeah.
Megan's
No
relationship.
doubt.
Yeah.
That's a lot. You've been with this person for 10 years. You've known them practically your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
They've been your relationship for 10 years. And in 3
And
weeks,
that happens. Yeah. no
that
doubt.
happens. Like,
Yeah, that's tough.
and then she got past it.
Yeah.
They worked through it.
And she like, I forget. She told her, I forgive you. And I was
Yeah.
like, damn, that's talk about bravery. I was like, holy shit, man, that's bold right
Yeah,
there.
and I really think Pilar looked at this like an experiment. Let's go kind of like full
Yeah.
in and then see where we're at.
Right.
Because how
I
will we
feel-
know
Now,
otherwise?
And I feel like Pilar would have possibly done the same
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. She probably
Yeah.
would have. Yeah, and because I mean, she kissed Kyle, and had Kyle been more receptive of it, you're right. They probably would have gone full on with him too. So who knows? But
Yeah. So, but either way,
And-
again, so even way back in the beginning, Magan was saying she didn't know she could get past
Right.
if Dayna got physical. We think that Pilar possibly could have gotten there. It still doesn't.
No.
It's still hard to get
Well,
over the fact
and-
your partner did it too.
and here's the thing too, Pilar. I mean, she seems very mature. She might be thinking retrospectively, thinking to herself, "Look, had I had that opportunity with Kyle,
Yeah.
it might have gotten there for me too." So I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head when you decided about how mature the conversations between them two and the interactions are. And I think Pilar is being very mature about it, and she probably did think about it. Like, yeah, I probably could have gotten there with me and Kyle as well. So,
Yeah, and I think those two come out of this stronger.
oh, definitely,
which is
no
good.
doubt about it.
Getting to Dayna and Megan, like Dana's kind of lecturing Megan in the very
Yeah.
beginning of this thing
Oh, dude,
about what
yeah.
she's did and
Yeah.
everything
Oh, I
else.
was
Well,
like-
she did the same
didn't learn-
thing.
No.
I don't think Dayna learned
Yeah.
anything from
No,
this.
Dayna, and she still
And she
kept
says it was
lying about
different, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, different in a negative way.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. I was just like, what the hell is this woman doing, man? She like doesn't have a freaking selfless bone in her body. It's always about her. She's being selfish about everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, seriously, it's like, come on, man. And at least just freaking man up and own that, yeah, we had sex. Just freaking tell her.
Well,
you
it
know?
depends on how you define
So-
it, Billy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we don't see the mom come, so I guess that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, initially Megan was calling her out and resisting, but as time has gone on, she's completely changed.
You really don't see the transition. Like in
No.
the end of the last set of episodes, it was like, yeah, I'm in love with her, and we did this, we full on had sex, everything or whatever, and then like she calls her mom, Dayna calls her mom, she's like, come get me, like you need to be here, whatever, and Megan acts like it doesn't faze her one bit. And
It's a
then
quick change.
And then in the
Yeah,
next
the next-
episode, she's like, I really want to give this a chance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, no doubt.
that's over, and I want to be with you.
And,
What?
meanwhile, while this is going on, it's crossing over to Marie and Mel. And this is interesting, too, because Mel is, like, not into it, even though Marie's trying.
Right. Oh, yeah.
This is just the Mel and Marie situation, I read as a disaster from day one, and I didn't see it getting better, and I only saw it getting worse. Mel shut down. Mel was completely into it. She was wanting Dayna to say, let's run away together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Dayna
she was
had
totally
said,
counting
She
on
totally
that.
was.
if
Exactly.
Dayna had said, let's run away together, they were gone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Dayna didn't say it, and so
And Marie's trying her hardest. She's like, loyalty, love, all this. And she's like, those are the things that drive me away. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Love makes me feel safe. Trusting someone makes me feel safe. Check-ins.
Those are things that make me feel the most unsafe.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't know if I'd want something like that. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
all
like-
these good things?
yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah, like all the good things in life, having good positive relationships with people. Yeah, I don't think I want any of that.
Yeah.
It's
What
like,
she
dude,
meant to say is,
what the hell are you
I don't know
talking
if I
about,
want that with you.
Right, exactly.
yeah. I mean, Marie is just barking up the wrong tree.
Oh, yeah.
It's so obvious when you're watching it from the outside in.
Well, then
And it was obvious from day one,
Right.
like on episode 1. And then with the changeover, it was obvious. I mean, and
Yeah,
I just feel for Marie that she doesn't see it.
oh, and especially just having to go back and watch these episodes. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah.
not just a sex thing, but then, when she met with freaking Dayna, and we're all like, if Dayna would have said, hey, let's run our way together,
Yeah.
she'd be like, hell yeah. Dayna asked her, she's like, are you going to propose to Marie for you or for her? She's like, oh, I'm doing it for her because I know
Yeah.
what she wants. It's like, you're just like shitting all over Marie every chance you get.
Yeah.
Man. I'm just like, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
At one point, Marie asks her how she feels, and she said it changes by the minute. She's like, I love that for me.
And she even included that in her proposal.
Yep.
She included that. She's like, I want to be with you today. That might change tomorrow.
Right. And then go back the next
maybe
day.
the
Right.
next day, but
Right.
it's always going to be you. And then she had the ring pop, and I was like, she did nice things, but
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
it was a sweet proposal if she meant it, but she didn't mean it.
No, she didn't. No.
All right, so what do we think about AJ and Britney? I mean, they're kind of hitting it off again.
You
Yeah,
find out that they were never broken up to begin with. It sounds
Right.
like.
Yeah. Right.
It does sound kind of
Yeah,
like
exactly. And of course, Marie's trying to bring out her freaking perspective on that, at the reunion. But, and I get it. Marie had every right to be pissed off about it. And but because we found out, it seems like it was a lot more than everybody was thinking, how many times they kept meeting up and stuff. Right. So it's just like, how can you call that, giving it your all if you're just completely running back to your other person and, several times. So.
But AJ does kind of question her worth and place in the relationship, though.
When
And-
they're out,
Dude,
they're at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Dude.
That she breaks down,
And Britney
like,
says,
that's-
be more. Stop talking about
Exactly.
it.
I just want to be more. Be more. Stop talking about it.
I
like
love
that.
that. I love
I
that.
loved that whole
She
conversation.
was like, because she was like, I want to be more for you. I want to get to where you're at. And then Brittany's like, do it. Then be more. Quit. Don't talk about it and freaking don't
Yeah.
whine about it. Just do it. And I'm like, hey, exactly. Like, hell
I
yeah.
loved the vulnerability and the openness that AJ brought in that conversation, and I loved the.
You don't see that too often.
Yeah, and I loved the straightforward response that.
Oh yeah. That was
She
great.
didn't coddle her.
No.
She was like, "All right,
'Cause, I mean,
I'm
'cause
here
we-
for you, but do it, bring it."
Because we've learned through the process of this that it ain't like freaking Britney started out with everything. It sounds like she just put on her damn bootstraps, pulled them up, and created a life for herself. Created
Yeah.
this job and everything. So so it's like, sure, if I can do it, AJ, then you can too. Just do it. And I was like, man, that's
Yeah.
good. It's great advice.
What do you think about Bridget and Kyle? We don't see too much from these two, really, because there's not a whole lot of drama
Right.
going
No.
on, so
No.
they don't showcase them very much.
No, because they were a happy couple. Like they weren't like their ultimatum was really just Bridget didn't.
I don't know why
understand-
Kyle agreed to come on the show, honestly.
Bridget just didn't
Right.
understand what the concept of marriage of
Yeah.
a marriage. Like she's like, we can be together, but
Well, why do we get married?
I just wanted to be in a trial marriage with somebody, and maybe they could explain to me why it's important. Like, and they did, and now I'm fine with
Yeah,
it.
all right,
It's
we're
great.
good. Yeah.
Well, the parents were interesting because they were kind of like berating Kyle a little bit, like, you probably
not
need to
ready.
you're not ready. I mean, you're both artists,
Right,
you
right.
know.
Like, you don't make
At
money,
least-
like-
at least Pilar had like a good job going for her.
Do you think Kyle's ready for marriage?
I would say no.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
And
It was
then
almost like they were kids wanting to get married. Like, you guys aren't ready yet.
But
Then you find out later that they're both a mess. Nobody knows how to clean.
right, yeah.
I
Well,
can
but when their parents said that, they both actually listened and they kind of took it. They're like, okay, yeah, we see the point there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're
was just like,
another
man.
kind of. I mean, I guess they're artists, so they're just kind of free spirits in a way, but they're still a somewhat mature couple. Like they still talk through things and.
Yeah, I'll say now the show.
I think they're good for each other.
I'll say, and through the course of the show, Kyle probably became one of my favorite people now at this point. She's just got a good heart. She seems like a very good person, you know. So at first I was like all about Magan, and that just turned to shit, you know. And now I'm like, you know, Kyle's great, man. I like Kyle.
Yeah. Well, you know her. She's got solid parents too. Her parents are cool.
Right.
Okay, Bridget and Ashley, and again, we don't see too much of these two until the reunion, but at this point, they're still going kind of through their thing.
Not Bridget and Ashley and Marita.
Marita, sorry. Marita.
Yeah, this one.
And what I can't remember if it was family or friends they were talking to, but they were like,
it was Ashley's twin sister and her younger sister.
They're probably like, you guys probably shouldn't be together.
They were both saying it.
That's kind of. I wish Bridget had just been more straightforward about it, because Bridget was kind of saying that. I think that's what Bridget had kind of.
Oh yeah, when her and Ashley
you guys just don't work together. Like your person, and that's what I've kind of been saying, and I think you guys just kind of laughed at me, and I was like, yeah, Ashley's just not the type of person to be able to do these things. And she just doesn't try.
But it's like when her twin and younger sister are both telling them, like, you guys it just doesn't work. You know, we love you. They're like, we love you like a sister too, but it just doesn't work. And I was like, damn.
And it's sad, you know, if they really love each other, but they're just not good as a couple.
You can tell they really love each other, but they just can't make it work.
No. They can't.
They can't give each other what the other person needs.
Exactly.
And everyone can see it. They see it, but they just are so in denial about it.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if they're completely in denial, because Marita says she wants romance and breaks down. So I think she's just hoping Ashley can come around.
No, and that's more what it is. Even though she's hoping Ashley can come around, but deep down, I mean, she knows she won't, you know, and it's just.
Yeah, if she hasn't done it at this point, then it's like,
exactly.
You know, and she's not even really getting it. So.
And I really
and after she just got a shit ton of it from freaking, you know, in her little relationship with Britney, yeah. So
I really hoped that this would end peacefully and amicably, that they would come to that term of realization, like, we really love each other, but the best thing for each other is to let each other go.
Well, I mean, it seemed like it at that point until we get to the reunion.
Yeah, it seemed like that's what was going to happen.
Then we have the meetup. And Mel kind of comes in hot on this one, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because first she's kind of standoffish.
Yeah.
And then Dayna pulls her to the side and she comes in hot. And then Dayna, like, turns it up herself and kind of puts her in her place.
What are we talking about?
Dayna and Mel?
Tell me when they met.
At the meetup?
Oh, when they met up before the wedding proposals?
They have a meetup where everyone's together.
Oh,
I was like, what?
Shit, okay.
The meetup.
I was like, what meetup are you talking about, man? Yeah. When they all came, okay.
I did.
I was like, what the hell's this guy talking about?
Before the proposal.
We're still on Ashley and Marita. Like, why are we all of a sudden
going to meet up?
Okay.
Yeah, where Dana's like, don't bring this to me. You pull that attitude, I'll cut this off right now.
Yeah. You can just say that now. We can close the door. I'm sorry, I'm just not going for this act. So, like, I'm gonna, like, give you a second to drop it. And if you don't want to drop it, I can just go hang out over there.
Yeah, she's a very much bossy.
And I thought Mel was going to blow up, but she's just like...
Mel just sits there with a smile. She's like, okay. She said, exactly. Okay, Mom. Okay, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it turned her on a little bit. She was like, all right.
It might have, hey. It might have.
Because, you know, Marie's trying to work on her and bring her back. And then they have the meetup, and then you could just tell that she's just into Dayna.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
And Dana's like, I don't know if this is going to work, and this, that, and the other. It's almost like she's hedging her bets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Dana's been that way, wishy-washy the whole time, right? The whole freaking season that we've seen of Dayna, that's how she's been. You know, and it's unfair to Magan and it's unfair to Mel. You know, it's unfair to everybody, but she's just selfish. So.
Yeah, and then Haley and Magan have their private conversation.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that was and then it's like, because we hear about how Magan ghosted Haley, but then Magan said something about Haley ghosting her at one point too, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here, man?
Yeah, and this is where Haley calls her out. She said you ignored me, and then you said you loved me, and then she's like, stand by your word.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And,
yeah, it makes like
that was like an interesting moment.
think you misunderstood. Like, I have love for you. Like, I was never in love with you.
And then it's like, you told Dayna you're in love with her, so.
Yeah, and this is also, I think, where you can see Haley really yearns for Magan.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
And
see,
it would have been interesting if Magan would have returned the favor, but because she completely cut her off and she's not really interested.
And then the nail in the coffin was when she's like, I don't think, if we're gonna be friends, at some point, then I think you need to apologize to Dayna.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
She said that.
That was nuts.
She said that. I started laughing. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Holy
I'm surprised
cow,
she didn't
man."
get slapped.
Yeah, no kidding.
With us being in each other's lives as friends, then I feel like you owe her an apology.
I don't know how her voice wasn't shaking when she said it.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
was like,
I
what?
feel like Dayna did such a number on her where she's like,
dude.
you need to apologize for
Yeah,
Dayna now.
exactly.
It's like, what?
yeah. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, and she says this at the wedding proposal. They
Right.
talked before
Yeah.
that moment, so and I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I was like, "What the hell is this chick doing?"
Well, and
like,
at
oh.
that point in time, Haley was like, "Yeah, I don't think," and
don't
Haley
want anything
says,
to do with
"I
you."
don't want you in my life
Yeah.
in any capacity."
Right.
Right.
At this
And you
point.
can't blame her at that point. It's like, this chick's freaking lost her mind.
Don't want you in my life in any capacity.
Yeah, she's like, "Don't worry about the apology. It's not coming."
Yeah, like yeah.
Actually, you can tell her to go F herself, right? Okay.
And I think Megan's kind of hurt because she expected them to be friends, but like you just can't be friends with someone after this. Come on.
Definitely
No.
not, dude.
So I'm even surprised she even thought that could be a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But we get to the choice. At this point, were you surprised by how anything turns out?
Not really. I mean, I kind of saw most of those coming. I think, well,
You saw Dayna and Magan?
I wasn't. After watching the episodes before that, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I saw Dayna and Magan. And prior to that, the first 7 episodes, I was like, oh, maybe Magan and Haley. But then after watching episode 8, it was like, no, they're going to freaking
What
choose
about
each other.
Mel and Marie?
Yeah, that one surprised me.
Yeah, that one did surprise me. That's true.
Yeah.
And then, I was a little surprised with the Ashley and Marita one because I was like, you know what? I think they're just going to try to go for it.
I thought they were too.
But then they
No.
didn't. And I was like, okay, it's
And
like,
I was really glad and proud of Ashley for not
definitely.
caving and
Yeah.
doing it.
I
'cause
think
thought
that was a
Ashley
smart
gonna do it.
decision.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree.
And it
They saw that black cat. And
right.
that was funny
Oh,
because
dude,
she's like, is that
yeah.
a bad sign? She's like, yeah.
she said, "Yeah,
And she just kept beat. She was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
kind of is."
There's a cat. Is that a bad sign? Yeah.
And Marita says
That
she
was
was waffling. Like, if she asked me, I'll say yes.
Yep.
But so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it definitely was. And at that point, it's like,
But I don't know if they would have
again-
ever made it.
But again, that's Marita just hoping that Ashley's going to change, knowing
Yeah.
she's not, So it's
Well,
so
then you find
Ashley
out-
did the right thing there.
Then you find out at the reunion, like they got together like the week after or something,
Yeah,
went
it-
down to the Keys vacation. So like they didn't really end it right there
and-
anyway.
And that was kind of weird. We didn't
I
get
was
the full,
confused
we
by
didn't get
that,
the full
yeah.
story on that
Well,
either.
'cause they
Yeah.
kept
Because at one
talking
point
over
she
each other.
says
Yeah.
we were not together after that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but you went somewhere, so I don't really know how that works.
Like they
Yeah, it
they
was-
did things together, but they weren't together. But then there was cheating, but there wasn't
Yeah,
cheating.
and then the other one cheated 5 times, and
Yeah,
then it was
well,
like,
you cheated a million times before.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it sex? Who knows? It depends on how you define it.
AJ and Britney. Now, no surprise here,
No,
right?
no surprise at all. No.
No, I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, and they came around, and it seems like they became good friends with a couple other couples, and we saw at the reunion, which is kind of cool, But
Yeah. I was surprised when the breakdown happened. Like, I didn't know Mel and Ashley were that close. Because when Ashley
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
I
walked
didn't
up
either.
and cried, Mel was the one that got up
Yeah.
to go kind of comfort
Yeah.
her.
You know what kind of surprised me? I think Dayna was the only one to like reciprocate the proposal.
Yeah.
yeah, they had the dual
True.
proposal.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, you're both women. I mean, like, why does one get one and the other don't? I'm like,
Well,
so I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. I
Haley
thought
did a month
I was
later.
waiting for that to happen, but she was the only one that did, and that's not the one I wanted to see do that.
Well, Haley did a month later. We just
Yeah,
didn't
that's
get
true.
to see it.
Yeah.
So,
Like I said, after seeing all that shit, they deserve. Megan and Dayna deserve each other. I was like, after seeing all that crap, I was like, man, you two. I was like,
I just don't know how the switch got flipped so quick.
yeah.
But Dayna, she works at it.
Oh yeah, she does.
Very
No doubt about it.
deceptive.
Yep,
I feel
absolutely.
I
Very
feel like there
manipulative.
could have been a whole episode of footage that got cut
Yeah.
that could have showed us
Yeah,
maybe a little
uncovered all
more
that,
about
yeah,
that
no
flip.
doubt.
We're missing some information there.
Oh, yeah,
but
sure.
as like Dayna says in regards to the sex, did they have sex or not sex? It's none of our business. So
she was more than happy to listen to everybody else's shit.
Well, what irritates me by saying that is like you're on a reality show.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
You
mean?
made it
So what are
everybody's
you
business.
talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Newsflash, you're on my
Yeah.
TV in my living room.
Exactly.
It's my business.
But before we get to the reunion, is there anything else about these proposals or the way they went down?
No, I mean
that's of note. It was kind of boring. Actually.
Yeah, it was.
This was
It
like the most
definitely was.
boring part.
Yeah, for sure.
The proposals part?
Yeah.
I mean, typically
They didn't build up enough drama or something. I don't know why.
Well, I mean,
It just was
they did so many episodes on like the other, them with the other couples, and then it was just like mainly one main episode of them with their real people. So I mean, there wasn't a lot to build off of, right? And then here's the proposal. So I was like, well, that's just kind of stupid. But
yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if we were going to get the reunion as part of this, but we do. So I was interested in that, and it's 1 year later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and then this is kind of interesting too, because Marie is like, I don't know what she's
salty.
Dude, Marie is
salty.
She's like taking over hosting, dude.
She's like, I don't know what you have to do with this conversation. Why are you facilitating this?
and Maria's pissed, man. She had no problem letting everybody know she was pissed.
Yeah, and they start off with AJ and Britney, and they're telling their story. It's all good, but at some point, like Ashley jumps in and kind of throws some shade about it. The sex. You get a lot of sex talk with everyone, and then then Marie piles on and said, like, yeah, you guys were sneaking off, and you had reliance on each other. None of us other people had that.
Yeah.
She was like, you basically had your best friend there with you, when you're supposed to be spending time with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't have that, so yeah, I mean, I got her point. I mean, she made a good point there, but you could tell she hangs on to stuff and just doesn't let it go, right?
Oh, yeah.
She internalized it all, just had it all built up, and she was just unleashing.
Well, and I said it the last set of episodes. She's got a lot of stuff she's got to work on personally.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of like trauma that she's got to work through, and then whatever happened with Mel, like we don't really even know how that. And she broke up with Mel. Like we don't know.
Which is good, I think.
Yeah.
It is good because Mel didn't want to be with her.
No, she
I don't know why she just went along with it, but.
Well, but we did find out too that she broke up with her before these shows came out, right?
So, but we don't know why. We don't know how that came to, but
it's none of our effing business.
It's none of our business. And then I'm sure she's just now watched all these things back. She's just salty about everything, man.
There's some weird tension between her and AJ and Britney because she keeps like interrupting and like interjecting, and they're like, "Let me talk and do this thing." Like, what do you even care about this? And
exactly.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah,
she's like, we're just discussing this.
Yeah. Well, with Marie and AJ, that was her trial partner.
Yeah.
Then you had Ashley. I get why Ashley was involved because remember, Marita wanted to be with AJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess I get it.
And AJ Marita had that like sparkly outfit on.
Yeah, she did.
So it looked like a mermaid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Ashley and Marita, and this one caught me off guard because I was not expecting these two to have like the most drama.
Dude, like Marita has been nothing but a sweetheart this whole show.
Dude,
and then she just lost it at the end there, and I was like, "Damn, did you really go there?" I was like, "Holy shit, telling her I don't give a shit your grandma's dying." I was like, "Man,
yeah.
I actually but fucking hate you. I hope you know
that's
that.
a lot.
Wow, I really can't.
Well, and
grandpa,
the other
grandpa, whatever, yeah,
the other weird
grandpa,
thing
grandma,
was,
whatever, somebody was dying.
Ashley said she was different because the cameras were around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she had an excuse for a lot of things.
Yeah, no, she did. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, we see that, and we do a lot of these love shows, a lot of reality shows, and you can definitely tell when people are uncomfortable with the camera, and but I mean, that can only be an excuse for so far, right? Like at some point, you just got to own it and say, yeah, it might have been uncomfortable, but still, this is our relationship, and we got to deal with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it starts getting heated. And they start talking about cheating on each other. I mean, I don't know what the timeline of that was.
Yeah, like evidently Marita cheated 5 times. I was like, damn. I was like, holy cow, man.
Yeah, and I wonder if Ashley's family knew that, and that also is why they acted the way they did.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, and then when she says like my grandma or whatever was sick, and the other one said my grandma was sick, and she's like, I don't care, and that kind of shocked me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just so you know, my grandma's dying right now. Yeah, I don't care. Guess what? You didn't care either. You cheated on me.
Okay, just breathe. All right, let's.
Yeah.
She was cold. I mean,
she was totally cold. She was heartless right there, man. I was.
She
like,
had ice
damn.
in her veins at that moment.
She did. I was like, oh,
and
God.
that broke Ashley. And Ashley's like, oh. Well, and then she said, she's like, I fucking hate you. Like, I hate you.
Yeah.
And like, and that Ashley's like, I would never. When she finally calmed down and came back, she's like, it was tough to hear because she's like, no matter what we've been through, I would never yell that to you, like yell that at you.
Yeah. And this is weird too because Mel is comforting Ashley, and then I think Britney comforts Marita.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know where Mel and Ashley connected.
Yeah, we never
somehow.
saw that in the show, like any kind of real connection between Mel and Ashley, right? So, yeah, who knows? But
I mean, I think she just felt bad because that was cold.
Right.
And it was a little odd seeing Britney comfort Marita because Marita's the one who went overboard, if you ask me. So,
yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. Like maybe they're just trying to defuse the situation.
Yeah. But at the same time, we don't know the background and everything that happened. So maybe Marita had every right to do it. You know, to be that pissed off. I don't know, but at the same time,
and she's reacting in the moment.
Right, exactly.
I'm sure she doesn't mean that stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure she doesn't hate her. I'm sure it is a reaction, but you are on TV in front of everybody. It's kind of a bad time to react and do that, but. She does, and it's like Ashley comes back, and you don't know how much cut time there was between that, because they seem to calm down, and she's like, "I apologize, I shouldn't have said that," but it didn't seem like a genuine apology, really. She was
I think she regretted it.
I think she did regret it.
I think she regretted on how it made it look. I don't know if she regretted.
I think she regretted it. I think she did, because then afterward they talk things out, and it's like, well, do you think there's a chance for reconciliation? And Ashley's like, yeah, I would like that. You know, at some point, Marita kind of was being a little nice about it, so
I think she was probably like no chance, but she's like it would take a lot of work or something like that.
Exactly.
Which is a very quick recovery from I fucking hate you. Like that is like.
Well, she just said that. I mean,
I know.
Well, she just she's hurt, I guess, but
she just boiled over. I think it was just one of those moments. Not to say that it's excusable, because like you should know there's cameras and you should probably be on better behavior, but she just let loose.
Oh yeah, she did.
I mean, people snap, and if that's the worst thing she does when she snaps, okay, that's good.
Mel Marie, there's no relationship going on there.
No.
I mean, it's dead in the water.
Yeah.
You saw that.
They weren't sitting together.
No.
You saw when they walked out. Like, I mean, all the couples are walking out at the beginning, at the intro. The couples are walking all arm in arm and hand in hand, and then you see Mel walk out by herself, and you're like, okay, so they're not together. But Mel walks out. She's got her little Mel grin on her face. Marie walks out with her face on. That's Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, that face never left 1 second. That whole freaking episode, man. That whole damn reunion.
Yeah, the only thing I could think is like, how are those Brussels sprouts?
And everybody was like, what the fuck are Brussels sprouts? Such a big deal. Right.
Dayna, did you like those Brussels sprouts?
Marie, I promise I don't understand the relevance. What
Did
do
you
I
watch
not
the
know?
episode?
Did we ever really get to that?
Yeah, so because she was like, I taught you how to make those Brussels sprouts. And Mel's like, you didn't teach me that. She's like, oh, I taught you that. So there was like the whole issue, I guess, that she taught Mel how to make Brussels sprouts.
And then Mel made the Brussels sprouts.
And Mel made
I'm like,
something else.
okay.
I guess it's like the oxtail with,
I think it's something similar.
But they didn't make a big deal about the oxtail.
Well, I'm sure in their relationship there was probably a conversation when Mel's like convincing her that she can make the greatest Brussels sprouts or something like that.
Yeah, who knows, man. But I mean, that was damn petty.
But she was like trying to punk Dayna with that. Like, did you like those Brussels sprouts that she cooked? And she's like, what are you getting at?
Yeah, I mean, like, is that worse than the tattoos?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I don't know if I'd bring up the Brussels sprouts when we got tattoos. You know what I'm saying?
That Brussels sprout thing was so damn petty. I was like, what the hell?
It's something to Marie.
Right,
okay?
It did.
Because she's salty about everything.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, not to say that she's not justified to be salty about a lot of
stuff.
stuff.
Oh, she is. No doubt about it.
But, I mean, she was not, she didn't come in to take the high road.
Oh no.
She didn't come in to
No.
present
She came in to do battle, which I was kind of disappointed who she chose to do battle with, because she totally lets Dayna off the hook for some weird reason.
Yeah.
They get in a discussion about the playlist, and apparently that's kind of controversial now.
Yeah.
And then they showed like everybody's reactions to it, and some of the girls were like,
There's no way you're just cleaning your house listening to some boom boom music.
Why is this relevant? Like, it's a playlist. Be for real. You're talking about a goddamn playlist?
I want to see this playlist. I'll be the judge if there's some sex songs on here, because now we don't even know if there's sex songs on
right,
here.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so, I don't know.
we don't even know what sex is at this point. So how do we know what a sex song is if we don't know what sex is?
They get into that. They have a huge discussion. Apparently, there's a million different definitions of it. So
Yeah, what the funny thing is though, like you could tell. So when the host wasn't Joanna, what's her name?
Joanna Garcia
But, yeah,
Swisher.
So when she asked freaking Mel, "Hey, did you regret? Do you think you lied? Did you guys say?" So you could tell Dayna was, or you could tell Mel was about to say yes. She was about to say,
way too
okay.
long.
And then freaking, of course, homegirl cuts in Dayna. It's nobody's business. We didn't have sex. It's like, shut the fuck up. I want to hear from her.
Well, these two don't even want to describe what they did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And all the moaning we heard, there was a hell of a lot more than kissing going on. So.
Yeah, I don't know. And she says it's nobody, and she gets away with it. No one calls her out on it.
No.
The partners don't say it's my business.
Right.
Because she tries to
Megan
do
was
this.
quiet as hell.
She tries to do this at some other point with Haley, and Mel's, or not Mel, but Marie's like, it was important to me to know that.
Right.
And she kind of shut her down on that. But she was trying that crap like,
Oh,
who
yeah.
do you think you are even telling people? And Marie's like, I appreciated that. And she's like, well, I guess you appreciated it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was relevant.
I mean,
to her.
they're just so damn deceitful with the whole thing. I was like, come on, man. Everybody knows you're freaking lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why the host did not probe that more and ask point blank.
tried.
What did you do?
tried.
And where are the cameras?
Because she rephrased it after that and
Yeah,
asked
she
again,
Yeah, but she totally let her off the hook.
She did. She let her off the hook.
That's what we wanted to probably know the most.
It's
and now
none
we
of
don't
your
even get it.
business.
I'd been like, well, roll the tape. You know what I mean?
I would have replayed the clip with the moaning and been like,
Yeah,
so
they should
what's
at
going on
least
Exactly.
here?
Unless the moaning was
Exactly.
added in post and it's not even them.
Yeah,
That is it.
it's a possibility.
That is
Like
possible.
no one brought it up, but if that is the case, then Dayna should be pissed at that.
Yeah,
Right.
and Dayna should have. If that's the case, you
But-
feel like Dayna would have pointed
But
that out.
exactly. I don't think it's the case at all because Dayna was cutting that shit off quick. We didn't have sex. Just shut up. Don't worry about it, So, no,
But
I
here's
think-
the deal.
What was
think-
causing
Here's
the
the deal,
moaning?
though. I don't think it aired by the
Did you
time.
say here's
they-
the deal, though?
That's what I heard.
That's what was causing the moaning. That's what caused the moaning.
They probably didn't see the actual stuff air like that, though, because the reunion was probably already filmed at this point.
No, because they watched episode 1 through 9 back. They talked
Yeah,
about
they
them
talked
watching.
about watching it.
Yeah.
Maybe they watched a different version. It just aired, and then they had the reunion.
Well, they
the
probably
reunion
got a
was probably filmed before this.
They probably got a preview of the 1 through 9.
Yeah, without the moaning.
Maybe.
Oh, man.
But
Yeah, maybe they added that for us viewers. Maybe.
Kyle and Bridget still together, doing pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not surprising.
Same with Haley and Pilar. They're doing well
Yep.
as well. No, not even much to get into
Nah.
with these four.
Not
And
bad. Yeah,
Dayna
good
and
relationships.
Megan still together, doing well.
Yeah, doing well.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, man.
But Megan regrets taking it so far because she thinks her and Haley would have been good friends.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
kind of disappointed about that.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I mean, they could have been good friends after taking it so far if Dayna wouldn't, or if Megan wouldn't have did what she did, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think blaming what they did on why we're not friends is just garbage. That's not why you're not friends.
No.
So,
Well, Megan says Dayna probably improved the most.
yeah, of course she said it.
What a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. I don't like how. I like how Haley kind of took Haley didn't really address Megan at the reunion and that whole
Well,
thing.
I
She
think,
kinda
I mean,
stayed
this is a
quiet.
year later, and she's
Yeah.
probably glued to Pilar now.
Yeah,
so
she's
no need
over
to
it.
do
No, I mean,
She let Megan off the hook with that
Oh, yeah,
at
and
that
Dan-
point. But Megan pretty much blamed Haley for that relationship, for forcing her to fall in love with her and go that far. I think in her mind, Megan blamed Haley for
I mean,
it.
she says,
Yeah,
I don't
I don't
regret
know.
what happened. It was good.
Right.
But it was just kind of like a moment in time.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
Yeah.
like you said, like McGreed, man.
Exactly. And it's just like, I mean, it's just kind of interesting because, like, when they were together, I mean, they were all in. And
Oh,
then
dude,
that
yeah,
break where they
yeah,
go
100%,
back,
man.
like, every day, it just kind of faded.
Uh-huh.
So you just wonder if she got caught up in the moment or something. I don't really know. It's tough to see. And, like, I'm surprised, like, she couldn't see how Haley treated her versus Dayna, but maybe there's Dayna's got the Riz, too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dayna definitely got let off the hook big time in this whole freaking thing. I mean,
Yeah.
there should have been. They should have forced that issue, but
I mean, I think Dana's hot and beautiful, but
Oh, she is, no doubt
her
about it.
attitude.
horrible.
You can get
Yeah.
away with a lot when you're hot. and
I guess
beautiful.
so.
You can, I guess.
I mean,
I guess so.
How many of these shows have we done? You get away with a lot when you're
That's
hot
true.
and beautiful.
That is true.
I mean,
That's true. So
yeah.
maybe that's it. I don't know. Magan didn't seem like that type of person, but maybe she is.
But then we got, and then of course at the end there we get the most important part, which they got to show in every Love Is Blind and every Ultimatum now is a stupid game.
I
got something super important to tell you guys. It's got this video game out.
Another season or something like this stupid app.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same damn shit. It's like, who cares about your damn app?
I don't care.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't care.
All right, so what do we think? Ultimatum, Queer Love, season 2.
It did not disappoint.
No,
it was entertaining.
I mean, first season Queer Love was great. This season was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a lot better than some of the straight seasons. So.
I just out of curiosity, I looked up the couples that got together in the first season to see who was still together, and Aussie and Sam, the Asian couple.
Yeah.
They're still together. They're the only ones. The only ones that are still together. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. Man.
Well, what about this season? Who's lasting? Is Haley and Pilar lasting?
Yeah, I think Haley and Pilar are gonna last. I think Bridget and Kyle are gonna last.
I think Britney and AJ
Yeah,
will
Britney
last.
and AJ probably last. Yeah.
So it's Magan and Dayna. They're not gonna last.
No, that is gonna fizzle out hard. That's gonna be a bad breakup when that happens. Yeah. So.
I'm looking forward to Love Is Blind probably next. So
yeah, I know. I'm ready. Yeah, looking forward to that when that comes out, and then I don't know, maybe we'll get another season of Ultimatum sometime soon too. But we'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go. There you have it, folks. That is another season of Ultimatum Queer Love down. We thought it was great. It definitely did not fail to bring the drama. A lot of
Magan disappointed in you.
Oh yeah, yep.
I know.
Shame, Magan. Shame on you. Anyway, guys, hey, we love doing this. We love talking to you guys. So hit that like, subscribe, and we are doing that Chill the Snake, so please check us out on that. I guess the episode this week's not showing. It's showing next week, but we'll watch it next week and review it, and hopefully we'll see you guys there. Later.
We did not have sex. I will leave it at that. Things happen between us. Everyone else, mind your fucking business.